now over here, and they're running towards Bobby and Steve's car wash. People are familiar with it. They're trying to get out of here, and I don't know if the police are leaving them an exit or not. There's a bottle thrown at the police. That's as close as we've seen to violence here. Now they're starting to throw water bottles at the police, which would be considered fairly harmless plastic bottles of water. I don't know if that won't say anything on the police side, but see, they've got them pinched and trapped here because they're trying to get out on the other side of Bobby and Steve's, and you can see they're jumping the fence, which would return them
back to the highway,
back to the freeway, or I don't know if they can go there, but they don't know that because as you jump the fence, they can't see what's on the other side. Now they're coming back here, so they're obviously pinched on that side as well because they're coming back on the fence from that side as well, and they've got no room here. We've got National Guard. They're going to start shooting rubber bullets here in a second, Tom. They're drawn.
Yeah, I'm going to say you might want to get out of there because.
Yeah, nobody knows what's coming next now, but they've got everybody blocked.
Just go in here, go in here, go in here, go in here.
All right, we're in the garage and we're safe.
Hey, get back, get back, get back. Get in, get in, get in. Hey, move one of them out of the way. You guys go behind us.
Don't run into a car, guys.
Okay, come on, come on.
Here's a live aerial view of what you're experiencing. That is Bobby and Steve's on the upper part of the photo, ladies and gentlemen, where those 4 tow trucks are. Mike Max is to the rear of that. He's literally inside either the car wash or the area where they keep the dumpster. This crowd is dispersing quickly. They tried to go to the top of the screen. They had nowhere to go. You saw some of them jump the fence, and you saw some of those folks head up towards the top of your screen. Now those same people are coming back down towards the bottom of the screen. The police have Washington Avenue blocked off to your right. To the left that you can't see, they have the on-ramp and the off-ramp onto 35W blocked off. So now it looks like this group that was here on the interstate that began about 8:04, now we're at 8:42, and they're looking for somewhere to go, and it looks like the police are going to let them funnel some direction here to the bottom of your screen.
I have something to tell you, and Maxie, the governor's office says that this group will not be arrested because they were in a peaceful protest. They got trapped, so they have 30 minutes to clear out.
What's remarkable about that is you saw the tweet from the police a few minutes ago that we read saying they're trying to defuse. Now you literally actually have a tweet from the governor saying...
No, they called in State Patrol, I'm sorry. It wasn't governor. They got a little... our desk did. Signals crossed.
Everything is
Patrol.
under the governor's control right now.
Yeah, that
if there's
true.
a decision being made, it's being made in St. Paul.
State officials say.
That's interesting because it's just remarkable that they're letting them do this, right? I mean, this is just such a different tenor and feel. We've designated you a peaceful group. We saw that you were trying to be peaceful today. We feel bad about the incident with the trucker, and now we're giving you a chance to go ahead and leave, and that's why the police are getting them to leave. But obviously the police want them to leave in a certain area. Maybe that we spoke too soon, because now, as we can see from our live Sky 4 shot, they've got them corralled. There's tear gas on the upper part of the screen. They have nowhere to go to the left. So
maybe they're not communicating, because we have first state officials are saying it. So who knows if this has been communicated or what happened there, because clearly they're throwing tear gas right now.
And we saw, and Jen, we're stuck. Your IFB pin is stuck, so we can't hear anything.
Jen, we're talking to our producer. Thank you.
So the interesting thing is that we saw this yesterday. It's in battle time they call it the fog of war, right? There's just so much confusion. People don't understand and get order. So it sounds like there's a directive from leadership saying let these people get out of here. But I don't know if that's been related to.
Has it been communicated?
I
don't know.
Because I mean, and we don't need to even speculate about that. We can just tell you what physically is happening in front of us. This group has now gone back and forth twice.
Over the highway.
Once over Washington Avenue towards Bobby and Steve's. There's nowhere to go there. Now they're coming back. Meanwhile, our reporter is in a garage with a trash bin and about 5 or 6 protesters. And these folks are obviously, they said we're going to defy the order after 8 o'clock because they knew it and it was clear to them. And now there's another flashbang, and now they're chasing them back the other way. So what's the end game? Are they wearing them out? You just have to kind of wonder, unless they're just going to cordon them and then surround the group and then arrest as many as they can. But the State Patrol government order that says we're going to let these people go, we're not sure if it's playing out live on television at 8:44 on Sunday, May 31st or not. What we do know is that this group that's trying to go back and forth isn't finding a lot of room to try to escape and get out of there. Michael, what do you know?
Maxie right now. Maxie, you all right? What's going on? on?
Gotta get this shot over here.
Yeah, we're okay. What they've got is they pinched everybody in. Behind us is the first line of the State Patrol. And Tom, if you can come over here, this is pretty impressive. They're walking slowly. They're asking us to stay back, which we will. There's a Humvee behind them, and they are the second line of defense. They've already got support up front. You see the Minneapolis police. The pictures tell the words. They're with the State Patrol and a police Humvee behind them, and they have masks and they have clubs, and suffice to say the pictures tell the story. They mean business. They now have a group of protesters pinched inside there, and the question is, what do they want to do with them? I don't know. They've got them. They used tear gas before. I don't know if they're going to try to make this if they're going to allow people to go back to their homes or their cars. Tom is going to get us a better shot here in just a minute. You can see they're on the fence up against Bobby and Steve's Auto World. And I see a police officer is giving some commands, and you can't tell what those are. And so I can't exactly see what you see because I've got Tom is up, Tom Villas is up shooting the crux of it, so I'll let you guys describe what you see.
Well, we do see cars there, and we see a bunch of officers going over there. And before we saw the protesters running back and forth because everywhere they turned, tear gas was being thrown. But Maxie, we're just confused because we had state officials called our desk and said that this group will not be arrested because they were in a peaceful protest. And they got trapped, so they're going to have 30 minutes to clear out, but it does not look like that way.
Well, I don't know if this was the final, but you can see that they're now surrounding Bobby and Steve's. There's a fence over there, and some of them think they can get out that way. If they jump, they're going to be met by police officers. At one point in time, there were some bottles thrown, plastic bottles of water, from the protesters to the police. I don't know if that triggered anything, if that was a part of, or if that changed the tenor of this confrontation at all. But they have had waves coming in, and they have flat out controlled this scene and left little room for protesters. They can't escape. There's nowhere for them to go. Now we've got the sheriff's department right behind coming in. This is the third wave that we've seen, and behind them, Tom, if we let's see, we've got some Humvees and we've got some vehicles, so that's a fourth line. Some of them are now coming in the form of cars and Humvees. They're coming in. Don't know what the strategy or the plan is here, but pretty soon it's going to be pretty tight quarters for any protesters that are left to try to make a move because they're just going to have nowhere to go. There's just too many bodies and just too much sheer strength. You can see police officers now getting out of their cars. They've got a staging area back there where they have even more, so they are very committed to this mission and this cause. I don't know if they identified this as one of the hot spots tonight, but they are fortified with bodies, and they are fortified with Humvees, and they are fortified with people. And I don't think these protesters, I think they will go peacefully because they are going to have absolutely no options in a matter of minutes here.
No, they have nowhere to go. We saw them lying down. Of course, you know, these folks are committed. They're here because of the death of Mr. Floyd on Monday evening. And they made some conscious decisions to say we want to be civilly disobedient, and they're practicing that right. The government says we can't have the chaos and problems that we've seen, and that's why the curfews are in effect, and this is a curfew being enforced right now. And these are other folks who are very committed to their cause, who we saw sitting down earlier, who very well might be willing to go to jail in the effort of what they're doing, trying to seek some change. I don't want to speak for them. I don't know what it is, but we do know what sparked that, and that was the death of George Floyd on Monday night. And we're now 6 days in, and it's been a chaotic 6 days, but they're really changing the tenor of things tonight. That's the protest group kind of huddled right in the middle, and this is a really big line of law enforcement literally circling them. You hear the term circle the wagons. This is the circle of police officers surrounding all these protesters, dead center in your screen right now.
Maxie it says that he can talk to us. Have you found out anything else, Maxie? Or?
Yeah, you can see it. There's the protesters in the middle. They're sitting down. Some have bicycles. They're not going anywhere. That's the bottom line. And they're going to have to choose how they exit here. But you can see this. They're going to slowly walk in. Is that more tear gas that's just been let go there? I can't tell for sure. And there's another wave of police officers coming behind them, and I can see them right now. They've got billy clubs, and they're walking up from behind. So they've done this each and every stop. They come and they get to the line. They don't incite anything. They don't try to engage the protesters in any kind of verbal or anything else. They just stand their line, and then eventually they move again, and eventually they move again, and then behind them keep coming more reinforcements, Humvees, everything else. So this is an incredibly well orchestrated plan. If the intent was to circle the protesters and pinch them into one spot, this is an intentional. This is an incredibly efficient and effective plan. We have seen no real violence so far, and yet they haven't left the protesters any choice. They did give them some time early on, perhaps, that they could have dispensed and gone back home or wherever it is. I don't know if they're intent on arresting these kids, or if there's a bullhorn going now, and I'm not sure who's talking.
Can you hear what they're saying, Maxie?
Yeah, I can't hear what they're saying. I heard something about arrest, but I didn't hear if they're leaving them an option to leave now or they will be under arrest. I didn't hear if they're giving them that option or not.
Well, in a strange move, Mike, the state government, don't know specifically, state patrol count.
Hang on a second here.
All right.
Surrounded, you're under arrest.
What did they say?
They said they're surrounded, you're under arrest.
They said they're surrounded and they're under arrest. So all the people that are sitting in there, I assume, are going to be booked and charged. This is what's left. But that was the announcement that we heard from the State Patrol on the megaphone, that you are now considered under arrest. How the protesters react to that, I don't know. And I don't know what the plan is in terms of how they're going to book them. There are police officers everywhere here, and there's many behind. And you can see, and now they're starting to chant a little bit, sing a little bit. It's really not a huge group compared to what we saw earlier in the day. It's what's left, and I think some of them really just got caught, and they tried to get out of here, and it was too late. They were pinched at every angle. Other people were able to get out earlier because there's not far as many people that they now have surrounded as there were earlier on.
We'll have to
find out if there's some sort of a miscommunication, because what we heard from someone calling into our office, what state officials saying that these were peaceful protesters, they were going to give them 30 minutes to get out. So I don't know if that was 30 minutes from 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Frank and Amelia, I think you can see,
this
is what it looks like when you get arrested.
Yeah.
Yep. And those were some that tried to get out. There's a fence over there, and there's a garage over there. And we were actually held up in that garage for a while when the tear gas.
People who were with us.
In fact, those people were with us in the garage, and they stayed in there, and they were just found out, obviously. And now they're under arrest and being taken away. And I assume that's what they're going to do with the rest of this crowd in one way, shape, or form. I don't know how they're going to go about that.
Well, Mike, from Sky 4, we can see a group to the left, a group going in. I don't know if they'll start pulling them out one by one or what their means are, but we can see some of the circle of
one
officers.
by one, they're taking them. You can